Hi, this is Mr. Bo. We're gonna start working this quarter on quadratics, and so I'm gonna help you do the homework for each of our homeworks. Your questions will be a little bit different, but the way to solve them is the same. So I'll walk you through all the homework that we have to do. The first homework that we're gonna do is parabolas intro. That's our first thing. So before we start, we've got a couple of vocabulary words that we need to know. There's a shape like this that's involved with a quadratic equation with x squared, and this shape is called a parabola. So that's the first word that we're going to have to know. And this kind of parabola looks like a cup, and the cup is faced up, so we call this parabola, we say this parabola opens up. And then there's another kind of parabola which looks like a cup that's going down, and we call this parabola that's opening down. Okay, so it depends. And this one looks something like negative x squared, but maybe some extra stuff over here. Okay. The other important vocabulary words that we have here, if this is our coordinate plane, we have some spots here where they cross the x-axis, and you'll remember when we were doing linear equations, we worried about the place that they cross the y-axis, and we called this the, sorry, I have a new pen, y-intercept. So these, they cross the x-axis, we call we'll call it the x-intercepts, okay? So generally, we've got three ways that parabola can intercept the x-axis, and one is to have two x-intercepts, and one is when it just touches in one spot and comes back up, and then there's one, and then the other kind is up here, and then there are no x-intercepts. So that's three ways to look at it. So we have our x-intercept, we have opening up, we have opening down, and we have parabola. Now, an important part of the parabola is down here at the bottom. This is called the vertex. If it's opening down, then the vertex will be up here at the top. If it's opening up, it will be at the bottom. It's the lowest point or the highest point. And if I draw a vertical line going through the vertex, then I have the two sides are symmetrical, which means they're kind of like a mirror. So we call this the axis of symmetry. So symmetrical means it's the same on different sides. Sometimes here this is going to be two sides, but it's not always two sides. But here it's going to be the same on two sides. It looks like a mirror of each, and sometimes we call this the line of symmetry too, if we're being a little casual and not too serious about it. I didn't know that happened. Okay, so okay, got a new thing going here. That's not actually what I want. I want a new graph here. Okay, so we're gonna start going through here. Our first one asks us which parabolas open up. So remember, So remember, we have two kinds. This one opens up, and this one opens down. So we have to figure out which ones look like opening up. And mine is going to be that one opens up, and this one opens up. Okay, so our next one is axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. Remember, axis of symmetry is the one that goes, the line, vertical line that goes directly down the middle. So it goes through the vertex, so I can find the vertex there, and then I just have to find something in the middle there. Okay. All right, let's see. Mark the vertex of the parabola. Remember, the vertex is the top point or the bottom point. So this is the bottom point. I'll find that right there. And which parabola has exactly one x-intercept? We'll look at how many times it crosses the x-axis. 1, 2. That's two x-intercepts. I don't see any here. That's 0. And then this one is one time, just one time right there. Okay. We want the vertex, and we have a y-intercept, which we don't normally talk about, but it's okay. So we have a vertex is at 3, 5. 3 is our x value. 5 is our y value there, so that's 3, 5. And our y-intercept is at 1, so y-intercept means crosses the y-axis at 1. There we go. A parabola intersects the x-axis at x equals 3 and x equals 9. So this is let's see. I got a new pen here, so I'm going to do my best here. Wow. No ruler or anything on the computer, right? Okay, so I have x equals 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here are my two x-intercepts. So I know that it's going to come down here. We don't know where the vertex is, so I can't really draw it. But let's pretend the vertex is over here. Okay. So if it looks like that, then I know that there's a vertical line going up here in the middle, and that is the axis of symmetry. Now we don't know where the vertex is yet, so this is just kind of a pretend right now, okay? But we're going to see the axis of symmetry here, and then the axis of symmetry is going to be, because these are mirrors, these are going to be the same distance. So the distance from 3 to the middle and from 9 to the middle is the same. And so how do I find that? We're going to find the average. Okay, so 3 plus 9 over 2 is equal to 12 over 2. So this is at 6. This is at 3, and this is at 9. So the distance here is 3, and the distance here is 3. Okay, so this goes 3 backwards, and this goes 3 forwards. Okay, so that means that if x is 6, I just need to find out what is y when x is 6, and if I want to find the vertex, but we don't have to do that here. It just wants the x-coordinate of the parabola's vertex. So that x-coordinate is 6. Okay, last one, I think. Graph a parabola whose x-intercepts are x equals -3 and x equals 5, and whose minimum value is y equals -4. So minimum value tells us minimum in time means noisut. All right, so that noisut, that minimum here is our vertex. So we know that happens at at y equals negative 4, but we don't know where. And new pen, sorry. So just a fast one here. I've got negative 3. I've got one x-intercept there, and I've got another one at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and so we're going to find the middle spot, the middle point here. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So when we find the middle point, ours is going to look like that. Okay. So I know that this is at negative 4, but I don't know the x value. How do I find the x value? We're going to find that average again. So this is negative 3, and this is 5. So we're going to find the average. Negative 3 plus 5 over 2 is equal to 2 over 2 is equal to 1. So this is at 1, so my point there is at 1. I know my x-intercept is at 5. And the other one is at negative 3. Yeah, it works out. We didn't move that point, but it made it itself, and that's a double check for us. We can check. Okay, so there we go. So we finished the parabolas intro. We get 80 points. If we want 100 points, we need to do the unit test. And we should also, after we finish all of these, we should do the unit quiz as well. So good luck on your homework tonight.